This conference will now be recorded.
Okay. I would like to call the Site Plan Review Committee to order for Tuesday, March 5th, 2024. Roll call, please.
Mayor Kudowski,
Here.
Gary Paul,
Here.
Andy Kurowski,
Here.
Dennis Persick,
Here.
Dale Quinn,
Here.
Carrie Rathburn,
Here.
and Hampron's excused.
Please stand for the pledge.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
And please remember our men and women throughout the world in uniform. I have no changes to the agenda. I need a motion to approve, please.
Motion. Second.
Motion and a second to approve the agenda as presented. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed. Motion carried. Number 5, action on the minutes from the site plan review of February 6, 2024.
Move to approve.
Second. We have a motion and a second to approve those minutes as presented. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed. Motion carried. Number 6, action items. Consider, discuss, act on a temporary sign permit request at 2270 South Oneida Street, Nativity of Our Lord Parish. Aaron.
All right, thank you. This is the annual request from Nativity for the temporary signage they put out for their car raffle. In this case, the request is for a 5-foot by 9-foot wheeled reader board and one of those Balloon Man inflatables. Those are both outside the typical scope of our temporary sign permit, which is why it does have to come to the Site Plan Review Committee for review and action. The 6-week time period would start on May 19th and end on June 23rd, 2024. This has been approved by the committee in the past, but it's before you again for your action.
Same thing, different year.
Absolutely.
That Balloon Man, he's gonna be taken down every night.
Yes.
Move to approve as presented. Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve the temporary sign permit at Nativity of Our Lord Parish. Any questions? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Thank you. 6B, consider, discuss, act on a site plan review request for a new vestibule for Associated Bank at 2357 South Oneida Street, parcel VA-120-2. Aaron.
All right, I will bring this up on screen. There we go. You can see the existing vestibule in the upper left-hand side, and then the proposed new cube vestibule, which you've probably seen in other Associated Bank locations across the metro area. And then updating the exterior of the vestibule with some metal wall panels with concealed fasteners. Signage will be handled separately, so don't get hung up on the signage at this point. That'll be taken care of through separate action, either through our permitting process or if need be, bringing it back to Site Plan Review Committee for review. In terms of recommended conditions of approval, all exterior metal wall panels are to utilize fully concealed fasteners. A minimum 3-foot masonry wainscot from finished grade is required for metal wall panels. And then, as I mentioned, submittal of a separate sign permit package for review. If you have any questions, I'm happy to answer them.
Aaron, it's the same thing that we see all over our area as far as that vestibule.
Yes,
That's the only thing they're doing on there?
correct. They're adding that cube to the top and then changing out the masonry for the metal wall panels.
Okay. Any other questions? If there's none, I'll move to approve
With staff conditions, Gary?
with staff conditions.
Okay, does anybody have a second?
A second.
We have a motion and a second to approve the new vestibule for Associated Bank at 2357 South Oneida Street with staff conditions. Any other comments, questions? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Thank you. 6C, consider, discuss, act on a site plan review request for a new clubhouse and pool at Aldon Station, 421 Aldon Circle, VA-1675. Aaron.
All right, I'll bring some of the elevations up on screen. This is just the general elevation of the clubhouse itself. It's probably a little more useful. This is a site plan at Station 417, which is a large condo building at Aldon Station. For those of you who've been on the site plan review committee for a while, we did approve a overall plan unit development for that project back when it was approved a few years ago now. And there was always a plan for a clubhouse in this location for the residents of Aldon Station. As you can see, this is the condominium Station 417, which does have some residents now. And the proposed project location for the clubhouse is right here, this hatched area, and the pool right here with new concrete deck. There will be a 50-inch fence around the pool and deck area for safety purposes. Just a couple more internal layout here, pretty typical, includes a common space, restrooms, changing area, and workout facility. In terms of exterior materials, it is consistent with the approved plans for Aldon Station. Mixture of LP smart side, lap siding, and some masonry. Color palette, again, is similar to what you see for Station 417. In terms of, this is relatively close to the designated flood fringe area in Aldon Station, and all development activity, including grading, filling, cutting, stockpiling of soil, et cetera, is to remain outside of that flood fringe area. In terms of recommended conditions of approval, compliance with the adopted Aldon Station PUD ordinance and amendments, including a minimum 50-inch high fence enclosing the pool area. Placing, staking, and maintaining silt fence outside of the 100-year flood fringe area through final grading and landscaping to prevent development activity, disturbance, or filling within the flood fringe or environmentally sensitive areas. And then final, meeting all applicable sections of 17-2-200, Ashwaubenon Municipal Code, and all other Ashwaubenon Municipal Codes. If you have any questions regarding the submittal, I can answer them, or else Ryan Redu, representing the developer, is also in the audience.
Aaron, that clubhouse, is that located near the, where the bridge is in their condo-type building they built?
Yes, sir.
Right in that corner there?
Yep, the clubhouse will be immediately south of the Aldon Station, and the bridge itself will be located off the trail a little bit further to the east, closer to the river.
Okay, okay.
I just wanted to say, Ryan, that is a really nice development down there that you've done. Thank you.
I was gonna say the same thing, Mary. I think Ryan and his staff did a great job on developing that property in the short term that they had it.
Yeah.
It's quite surprising that it went that quick, so.
Okay.
Somebody make a motion.
Does anybody want to make a motion?
Move to approve with conditions.
Okay, do we have a second?
I would second it.
Okay, we have a motion and a second with conditions to approve the site plan request for a new clubhouse and pool at Aldon Station, 421 Aldon Circle, VA-1675. Any other comments? Hearing none. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Thank you. 6D, consider, discuss, act on a site plan review request for an airplane hangar addition for Green Bay Packaging at 1801 Airport Drive, parcel VA-20. Aaron.
All right, thank you. I'll show this up on screen again. Okay. This is a proposed addition at Green Bay Packaging's hangar out at the airport. This is the current site plan that you see here, the access road, access to the flight line over here, the existing hangar building along with the parking area, canopies here and here. The proposed additions, as you can see, I'll zoom in a little bit here, make it a little easier to see. It's not going to let me do that. So we've stay zoomed out. It'll be this hatched area right here, basically enclosing the open, I say more of an open area between those two wings right now, facing the access road, as well as a two-story addition that'll be to the southwest side of the building as well. In terms of, all right, let me reopen this. Yeah. I'll run through this quick. All right. Back at it. As mentioned, 3 total separate additions. There's a 2-story, 5,597 square foot garage, 1,950 square foot second floor addition, and 5,722 single-story garage addition. So again, they are additions to the existing building. Exterior materials are to consist of metal wall panels. The applicant has requested a waiver from the 3-foot masonry wainscot requirement is required under 17-2-200 sub C sub 1 with limited exceptions in the I1, I2, and IP zoning districts. So this is in the P public use zoning district. So therefore, that 3-foot masonry wainscot is required whenever metal wall panels are utilized. The applicant is requesting a waiver from that requirement. In terms of recommended conditions of approval, use of fully concealed fasteners for the exterior wall panels. All new metal wall panels are to include a minimum 3-foot masonry wainscot, pending any waiver. Any new driveway or parking areas are to include curbing, maybe conventional curb pan or rolled. And then finally, meet all applicable requirements of the Ashwaubenon site plan review and all other applicable village ordinances. If you have any questions for me, I'm happy to answer them. Otherwise, the applicant is in the audience as well.
Okay, does anybody have any the question I have, Aaron, is what part of the buildings that they would be asking for the exception, do they face roads?
So I'll bring up
Other than-
the site plan again for reference. Sure, Greg, or Rick, wouldn't mind, Rick?
You have, I need you to go up there, state your name and address for the record, please.
Good afternoon, I'm Rick Fisher with Fisher & Associates Architects. My address is W13654 Balsam Lake Road in Crivets. I was the architect for the original hangar, and at that point, we had requested the same waiver and was granted the same waiver to be able to use insulated architectural wall panels on the building. So the building is made with individual panels approximately 8 feet by 2 or 8 feet by 3 feet with gasketed joints. So they're all concealed. Some are smooth, some are textured, some are a little different color. So we're just going to continue that same motif, with those wall panels, with the horizontal windows that that match the original construction. I think, Greg, you said you had a preliminary rendering of where we are today. So we're essentially matching exactly the materials that are already on the building.
Yeah, I know.
The reason for this expansion is they're adding to their fleet, and we had built some.
Could you bring that speaker up, or that
Oh,
microphone, so we can understand you?
Sure. Is this better?
Much better.
Okay, sorry about that. So this planned expansion is to facilitate the addition of an additional plane in the hangar. So there's some interior rooms that are being removed, and we're replacing those with, these additions, so they can use more of the main floor space of the hangar.
All right, back to the architecture, the walls, 3-foot walls on the outside. You said that, Aaron, he said it was exempted on the original plan of the building?
That was done back in 2017 prior to the requirement for the 3-foot masonry wainscot.
Okay, then that came in effect after the 17.
That's correct.
But this will match what you got.
Yes.
Okay. As long as we understand that. There's nothing wrong with the building, you know, I guess I got a problem here. If we create a ordinance or something that is in existence today, I find it hard to give an exemption to it. There's no sense in making a rule and not enforcing it. It's just like an ordinance. If we can't enforce it, why do we have it?
I agree with that, Gary. However, the fact that the rest of it didn't have to have it and it's gonna match, and how many people are gonna see it?
Biting my tongue right now about
That's,
that. No,
that's where I
have to think that way also.
mean, do you,
Can you show on one of those maps or drawings, specifically where this new addition that may or may not require wainscoting would be?
Sure, let me bring it up here.
Total building.
So what you see here, the darker hatched area where you see proposed addition. You can see where it's roughly this area right here.
Yep.
As well as this area right here, proposed additions. So those are the new sections, and those are subject to the 3-foot masonry wainscot requirement. This is the access road for the airport area, right up here. 172 is further to the north.
So, I mean, looking at this, if you put wainscoting on it, it would only be for a portion,
That's correct,
front, not the whole front.
correct.
You know, something else on this drawing that you were shading out there and what I'm looking at here, there is no parking there. Am I correct?
So we're talking about this and over here. So what I'm getting.
No parking against the building where they're putting their additions
Here and
regarding the wainscoting?
No, there's drive lanes through there, in front of it.
In the front.
there would be no parking up against the building.
Correct.
Yeah, that's, okay. All right. I'll move to approve it with the exception of the wainscoting that we would eliminate so that we could match everything like the building is presented right now with staff actions.
Okay, do we have a second on that?
I'll second that.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to approve with staff conditions, but with the exception for the 3-foot wainscoting. Correct?
That's also, so this is there now and so is that. Okay. Yeah, so it's connecting in between and then addition on the end.
okay.
Okay, does everybody understand the motion? Okay. Any more discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carried. Thank you. Okay, number 7, department reports.
Pardon?
Department reports.
Department reports, thank you. I'm very happy to announce that Will Engels, our new full-time code enforcement officer, assistant zoning administrator, is here with us.
Is that the guy in the corner there that I want to talk to?
That's him. So I'd like to bring him up. He can just give some background. And if you have any questions for Will, I'm sure be happy to answer them.
Is it Will Engels or Engel? Engels. So I have a very good friend who's in North Carolina named Will Engel. So he looks different than you. You know Will, right?
Yeah.
So as you've heard my name now, I'm Will Engels. Originally, I'm from Minneapolis, but I've lived in Appleton most of my life. And if you're all
That's a
wondering, yes,
sh-
I
that's a
have been
shame.
converted
That's
to
a
Green Bay
shame.
Packers, so that's always good. But a little bit about me. I graduated from UW Oshkosh with a degree in criminal justice. I became a police officer there and served for about 4.5 years. During my time as a police officer, I actually went and got my master's degree in public administration because I wanted to pursue a career in general administration. And when I saw this position open up, I thought it was a perfect opportunity to work for a great and very unique community. And so I sought out and thankfully got selected for it.
Good, glad to have you.
Will's been very active in already be driving around the community, dealing with some hot spots. He came across actually a big pile of dirt in a front yard in the right-of-way that was spilling out into the gutter just yesterday. Contacted the property owner, contractor, getting that taken care of. So he's been really active, and I appreciate his willingness to go out and take on some of these tough projects that we have.
Good. Thank you. Welcome.
Thank you.
Okay, any other questions for Will? No?
I'll keep our conversation quiet.
Gary will probably be in your office soon. Okay, thank you, Will.
Thanks.
Okay, any other department reports?
Joel, can I mention the plumbing position?
Just that we have an offer out.
Okay.
And it's been accepted, we're still working through the backgrounds.
All right, so we have an offer out for our plumbing inspector position. We're going through background on that right now, so hopefully we hear back on that relatively soon.
That's good to hear.
Yeah. Yeah, so number 8, items for next agenda.
An item just came in for an addition to Packer City International. So that'll be on the agenda for sure. If anything else comes in between now and 4:30, that will as well.
Okay. No other comments? Then we'll take a motion to adjourn.
A motion.
We have a motion and a second to adjourn. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Thank you.
This conference is no longer being recorded.